big sin in the room. The big old sin
Oopsie.
we've committed. Whoops. So yeah, man, we got that. We had that IGN reveal that went down yesterday. I don't know about you. I got to get in it like maybe after 10 minutes or 5, 10 minutes, something like that. I was in the middle of like clearing up my basement from the event that happened, and we had put it on the TV, myself and a couple other people from the
There it
event,
was.
and someone said sin. I was like, what? And I looked over and I was just like,
You
oh,
messaged back. You're like,
what was
damn it.
it was I messaged that to you guys, but I said it out loud first. I was like, God, fuck it, damn it. I gotta not so much. I really for me, I was like, oh, that's sin. That's cool. It's kind of more or less expected because he was a
Yeah.
kind of a big component in that story, the second half of the story too, right? When they had that update. So we'd already seen Sin out and about. Like this isn't really a surprise. Just not really. I was not surprised. I was surprised that he came in so early. I thought they would add him later.
My sin is that I still didn't watch that. But I was in line. I went down to DC and I was in line to go to a museum. We were with people that have never been, and I'm sitting in line. It's like 10 minutes until 4. I'm like, Mom, lady, listen, if I scream, don't be startled, okay? So then it starts, the countdown. I'm like 5, 4, and at 0, it was immediately they showed the screen, they showed the trailer. So like you immediately saw it was Sin, and I was like, oh, okay, not bad. I was all right.
Really? Yeah, that was your reaction? Was just not bad.
My reaction was like, oh, okay. All right.
I thought you were gonna be part of the many slayers that were very sad out there that
Well,
just like still waiting.
I feel as though I mean, you said it's not an original character. Obviously, it's not. But it's a character who's still newer, who I don't think many people really played because he was DLC from the old game. I didn't touch him at all in the old game. And I didn't
Was he
fight him either.
DLC?
Yes, he was.
What? No, I don't believe you. I can't remember.
If he wasn't DLC, then he was unlockable. You had to unlock him.
Okay, I'm
and
gonna check.
I
I'm gonna
never
check
had
out
him.
if he is.
And if I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. I don't remember him being playable. Are you
Okay,
checking now?
I'll check in. I'll check in a
all
sec.
right, you go check. I will go and. Oh, I'm sorry. You're checking or am I checking?
It don't matter. Regardless of that, the thing I wanted to double check myself actually was really looking back on the voting that they've had over time with the developer backyard, right? Where they've shown like the characters that people are asking for or are looking forward to having. Because not to say they go 100% by it, but I mean the more popular ones hit like your Bikins and such. So looking back at even the last backyard, which I think was the 11th one. We're currently at 14th. I'm trying to see. Bro, Sin is not even in a single one of these regions picks.
Oops.
Like Sin was not looked at to be like come out. Hold on. And then what other ones would you see in the future? Okay, there we go. Let me look at. Okay, excuse me. Sin showed up 6th place. Okay, 6th place in North America, 7th place in South America. Didn't hit at all in Europe.
Yo, 5th in Europe.
Oh, sorry, 5th in Europe. Wow, how can we miss that? All right, didn't hit at all in Japan.
In Japan.
Oh, 10th.
place
Damn
in
it.
Japan.
10. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm sorry, yo. I'm blowing up right now. I really looked at this one initially. And I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Okay, it's down here. Okay, so Sin did make it across in the top 10 for several regions, the highest being 5th place in Europe. But not in top 3, which not a big deal. But I mean, if you look at the top 3, it's like Slayer 1st, Slayer 2nd, Slayer 1st, Slayer 7th, and then Slayer 4th. So if you want to take the averages there, I'm pretty sure that's higher than Sin. But not to say they won't add him in the future, but I'm like, Sin really? Like, we weren't going to get like an ABBA. We wouldn't get... Johnny, I don't want an Elfelt, but whoever does is a psychopath, and that's fine. Yeah, or Venom, right? Or really, like I was more surprised. I was more surprised that it was Sin, but it's a legacy character, quote unquote. He actually has only been in one other game, technically 2, with Overture. But we want to talk about actual fighting games. He's only been in one of them, which was Rev. For those who don't know, Sin is Kai's son, Kai and Dissy's baby. And in this game, he definitely is more simplified because he has a food hunger meter in Rev. This one's now been simplified to just 3. He can still eat. We still don't know what eating does. They, for some reason, kept that very, very secret. And I have a theory. They're either doing it because it's too good, or it's because they're trolling the shit out of everybody and be like, it doesn't really do anything, like much. It's got to do something. Apparently, something good happens. Like, even if you look at the official, starter guide for him, which I was like, aha, you sons of bitches, it's got to be in here. You inform us of everything here. They're like, when he eats something, something good happens. The next move, and I was just like, what? Like, that's it. They really don't want you to know. They really want you to find out when the character actually drops, which, by the way, he's dropping on the 24th, 2 days from now. Yeah, so we got to take a look at him. Impressions off the rip, without going into details yet. How do you feel about him?
I feel like he's too strong. But before that, yes, he was unlockable for 200,000 yen or money.
Oh, okay.
Or you can just buy him for like $2.
Yeah, I bought Rep 2 like that. I was just good with that.
Yeah. So I feel like he's very strong. He has all the tools that I use with another character called Ino. He goes under fireballs with certain moves, and some of his lows his one low special move is really fast. He has a stun dipper type move. He obviously has a dive kick. He has the close standing S that was a problem in the previous game for me, because it's like, here's the S. Where am I going to cancel it? Don't know. Don't care. Try it out. Mm-hmm. He's got the range. He's got the whole range. I thought if he's
got a better stroke to tree than Eno. Goddamn.
Exactly. And the follow-ups. You can use the meter with the follow-ups.
He's got a guard break. Yeah, he's got a guard break with that little explosion fist.
And none of the video showed. Now, I didn't watch the actual IGN video, so I don't know if they actually implemented some of the RC mechanic. But some of this is what he's doing, is going to be manipulated by RC. And I mean, even quick RC is going to be either make something more safe, or make something happen a lot faster, or complete block string. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. And he doesn't even have any drawbacks. And all right, 3 meters. Okay, how fast does it build back up? I don't know.
It fills back kind of quick, man. Like one wall splat. Where's my bloody mouse? One wall splat after doing a special move, kind of regenerates it rather quickly. Like, I don't know if it's gonna show it here in this video, but yeah, a simple combo that starts with any kind of follow up or goes into a follow up, even halfway, the bar seems to come back kind of quick, bruh. So I'm not really sweating that too much.
There was one combo I saw come out of the corner that was just a carry all the way to the other side. Mm-hmm. That just wall break. You don't even have to side switch. I have this Eno combo that I use to do a side switch on to get out of the corner, and I have to use 50% tension. Now, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I was quite impressed, and I was like, well, that looks busted. Just to be able to corner carry from the entire other side of the screen, and it wasn't that common.
Actually, that
was very nice.
I'm gonna take back what I was saying earlier, which is interesting. It's one thing I meant to bring up is I thought the gauge actually filled up faster than it did, but I realized one key thing about the gauge that I don't think anyone has actually really noticed. If you do a combo that has a follow-up on it and you use gauge, if you take a look, that gauge does not start filling up until this combo is done.
Okay.
So that's actually very, very important, because when it comes to a character that I don't even know if this applies to Jacko, because I'm trying to think of other characters that have that same kind of resource management they have to do on a bar that fills up, right? Like Happy Chaos gets if I remember correctly, Happy Chaos should fill focus no matter what's going on, right? Getting hit, doing a combo, you should be getting focus as you're continuing on. Jacko, on the other hand, if she does a combo that has a minion out there, does it? Yeah, okay, a minion. Yeah, it does. I just wanted to verify, just checking out on the YouTube page. If she's doing something with a minion, that that meter is starting up like as soon as possible, mid combo or whatever. It does not matter there. But when it comes to except for the hit stop, sorry. Damn, actually no, I'm lying. Wow, let me fix my face because it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. The hit stop is like it stops the minion gauge from raising, from refilling. Excuse me. So it does passively go, but for every button you're pressing while it's active or hit stopping, in other words, if you're block stun or something, the actual meter does freeze. I wonder if that's the same thing with Happy Chaos. That might be something I just have never noticed, which is kind of a trip. But for Jacko, like I said, it's working because it's filling in between like her buttons. Once Sin gets started, if you look at the meter, like it doesn't matter. Like if he used an actual follow up in a combo, like his stop or not, like that meter is not raising at all. So now this character went from, because my first thought was, oh, okay, so now this character is like the combos that passively bring back your meter after you do any kind of combo, or if you do a combo and your combo is long enough, can you get that meter back, right? So you're like meter positive, right? Kind of like how when you're looking for combos and you're trying to do some really swanky stuff and you're trying to build a bar in between, like for Marvel players and stuff, it's pretty normal, right? You just want to be able to get like, oh, it's meter neutral or it's meter negative or meter positive. In other words, by the end of that combo, if you used meter, are you plus, are you minus, or did you break even? So that means, you know, it's a combo you can do kind of in any situation. That's the same way I'm thinking of these resources. So it looks like, yeah, the ways that he would work is whenever he's actually blocking, his bar will freeze up. But during actual hit stops, I think it's going to be the same way. But while he's doing a combo with the bar, like there is no passive filling, which that was one of my like initial just like worries, because that could get abusive really quickly. Like that, like in the hands of the right monsters, the right players, like, you know, that'll just lab. Like, yeah, it'll become like abusive if you're able to just stay neutral the whole time, because inherently then the character just becomes like, there is no such thing as meter management there. It's just like your routing is the biggest, you know, component to it.
Yeah. So one thing is that, or I feel, is that with the meter usage, like according to what they're telling us in this video, in the starter guide, is that he can follow up and choose not to follow up.
Yes.
So you as the opponent have to choose, are they going to follow up? Do I challenge? Do I not? And to have the ability to commit to a good and or bad move, or not even bad, like they're going to have to hold that almost. Like, I think that's enormously strong. And then again, put that in there with an RC. Mm-hmm. It's terrifying.
Oh yeah, the layers already sticking out.
Yeah, and that's the deal. Now again, Eno can get a lot more off a stroke, let's say heavy stroke, but then you know, not really off of light, and he's got a light stroke that can do, you know, the pushback, but it still knocks down.
Well, you follow it up, right? You can follow up with it.
You can follow it up. But Eno's slash stroke doesn't knock down. It's just there. I think you can get a 5K, but if they shake out of it, your 5K doesn't work. So it's length or not length dependent. What's that word?
Distance.
Yeah, distant dependent. So who knows? And also, we're not taking into account how much he's going to get buffed off of eating.
Yeah, that's the biggest. That's the biggest freaking like just black box right there.
Fourth bar.
Oh my god! I hope not. That'd be crazy. But yeah, actually, you know what? Bringing up the bars, man. He's the first one in this game currently that has a optional multiple bar super. This isn't prevalent with anybody else. There's no. Will they cash out? You know, their other 50% of tension. No, like everything is 50%. RC is 50%. Super is 50%. No matter what it is, there is no 100% tension super. He has that. So now that's what I was talking about. They're increasing. They're now introducing this, which is something that's done in other fighting games. You know, you got level 1s, level 2s, level 3s, level 4s, level 7s. follow-ups. You look at Dragon Ball Fighters, right, which Arxis is also involved. But this one's interesting because you can choose to do it, right? So Ride the Lightning, or RTL, if for those that don't know, that's what it stands for. Has an optional fourth hit that you can throw, because it's normally 3 hits on the super. It's fully invo, 1, 2, 3, and then you can actually choose to get a fourth. And that fourth is what is going to use the last of your tension bar, if you have 50% tension left over, and that is going to that increases the damage like incredibly. It does now more of a raw like 60% off of it. Looks like by scaling guts, whatever Kai has, which I think is like middle of the pack. Then he has Tyrant Barrel, which this one doesn't require a second, your second half of tension. It's more of a timing thing to optimize it. So think of like Jita in Grand Blue, where if you actually did the actual proper sequence in her super, you actually get, for one, her hair is blue, so like you recognize that you did that version of the super, that it does more damage. But you risk that if you mess it up, then I believe the super ends like prematurely, so you don't get everything out. Versus like if you just let it go, it'll still do a super, it just won't do as much damage. Tyrant Barrel, if you actually time it correctly, which if you hold P, because this is double quarter circle forward, if you hold P for the follow-up after the initial hit, and if you do it at proper timing, you actually get a full screen knockdown versus a techable, just short, like, knock back. And also you get the added damage boost that comes with it. So he's interesting because he's no other character has this much like super differences like within their supers like that.
And that's where Dragon Ball sort of faltered, is that their DLC characters had so many different tools that the rest of the cast didn't really have anymore.
You think we're seeing that here?
I think so.
You think this is enough?
So. I think this is going to be... I'm not saying he's busted or broken or anything like that, but I think this is starting a trend of what the older characters are missing. Like, dare I say, Now, recently, I'm going to keep you here. I'm not keeping here, but I'm just going to say, Diaphone, who was a previous guest on our show, he did put out a video of plateauing. Like, how do I get past the plateau? And he's like, one of the issues I see is that people start to blame the character, or so to speak, like,
yeah, that's the standard OS, man.
Yeah, of course. And then I sit there and I'm like, is it the character? And I'm like, I'm doing all right with Testament these days. And then I'd start to try to get out of that, or maybe I'm just not using a certain moves in a matchup. Like if I go to the lab and I lose to like a Chip, and I'm like, oh, I really want to use a different character against Chip because I'm just holding down the entire time, not doing anything. So yeah, I is it me downplaying a character? Are a lot of people going to be using them, using Sin? Yeah, I think so. The game has become We've seen some people even in the Discord talk about, I'm not really playing it anymore. I feel like it's been a while since we got anything. I personally feel like there hasn't been any real season 2-ish things. This doesn't differentiate from season 1 to 2, other than obviously now these 2 characters.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing, inklings that this has taken quite some time. At least given us a tease of it earlier would have been great. Like it was just IGN Guilty Gear. I'm like, it has to be the character because there's supposed to be one more goddamn character before 2023 happens, and it's like, cool, it's happening last week of November, so it's like might as well have been December. Yeah, I'm getting that same feeling. I'm wondering if Strive is starting to kind of show, or the scheduling for this season is starting to show like it's a little bit off. Maybe it's something they're gonna switch up for 2023. Because remember, we're still expecting 2 more characters in 2023. Whether or not we're getting them in the beginning and then the end of the year, which would be fucking atrocious, is another aspect. But like, I don't know whether or not this character. I don't think he's supposed to be slated to come out with any kind of battle adjustment, right? I think
that's what I don't know. But I know the crossplay was supposed to be coming at least. However, like, darn it, I lost what I was gonna say. I'm just looking through. I was looking through to see if there was any information after his stream, because I mean, you'd expect, all right, here's this, and we're just gonna show him off. Oh, okay. I could just watch the starter guide for that. So I'm turning this off. Now, I don't know if there was any other. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. the game doesn't have any competition right now. I think it's the supposed top game, and DNF. I mean, are they really going to compete with themselves? No, I don't think Arxis would. But like, there isn't anything out that's competing with them to get sales. They've got their sales. It's not like they're going to compete against Street Fighter 6 right now. I mean, you got Street Fighter 6 coming out whenever next year.
It's going to be crazy.
And and they know that, of course. So maybe they're waiting for that to drop, that to have a release date, or they're waiting for Frosty Faustings to actually happen. And because they did, who was it? Faust last year, I think, or no?
Yeah, they did. No, was it Faust? The game came out already last year.
Okay,
the game was out by last year.
Well, then many years ago they did reveal
Faust,
Jam, and Faust before that. Yeah, or after
Jam.
They revealed Jam for Xrd.
I got so confused.
No, that was CEO. My bad, that was CEO. Oh no, last year was Biken, or was it CEO as well?
Why are you saying Jam, bro? Jam ain't in this game.
No, hold on. Excuse me, Jam in Xrd.
Okay.
DLC.
Okay.
But that was in one of the CEO talks. My bad.
I'm about to say, like,
I just
bro,
remember Frosty having announcements before.
Yeah. It was Biken. It was Biken as CEO.
Okay. And who was it at? I don't know. They have a tendency to have underwhelming announcements. Remember that one time we got ready on like January 1st and like, let's see who this is, and it's just Angie, and we're like, all right.
Yeah.
We went home and we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm wondering. I'm hoping they kind of they kind of fix their scheduling a little bit, because I feel like it's been waiting a little too long. Like Strive is good, but it still needs some love. It still needs some adjustments to it. I think
so much you can do after you make a Celestial,
Yeah, there's only so much. The running cancels, I think, a good direction. I don't think it's enough. The characters are like, they're solid. There's no way we're not getting a new character next. Like, now that's 2 legacy characters. People are already like, yo, this is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed season pass. Let's go. Because of Bridget and Sin being the first 2, and they're both legacy characters. I wonder if that was going to be now their order. They're like 2 legacy characters, 2 new characters, right? Half and half. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm hoping for a good battle adjustment past this. But right now, basically, Sin, in my eyes, and his one eye, actually, yeah, he only has one eye, right? Yeah, he didn't just like swap. I think his just got pulled right out. Is that, for those that don't know, Kai has his left eye. That's why Kai's can do the dragon installs, because that's Sin's eye. The biggest thing about Sin for me is, yes, his follow-ups are cool, very unique, super is dope. He literally is just like, he feels like another Soul to me. He just feels like Soul. He just feels like Soul to me right now. I'm like, yeah, he's got a DP, so he's gonna have great buttons. He's got a vortex. He's got a vortexu, but even better. Yeah, he's got a bit more range, but like, yeah, he feels like he's gonna be like just that same. He's basic enough. Like, I think he's gonna have complexity, but complexity when it comes to resource management, not complexity in terms of his game plan. His game plan, I don't think it's gonna be that overcomplicated. From at least what I'm seeing, but we'll see once this character drops. Once again, that's happening November 24th. That is this week. That's